This is BleedTV, the only podcast for today's best shows and movies. I'm Zach. I'm Jake.
And I'm Cash.
And we got The Walking Dead. This was episode 8, the mid-season finale, called Evolution.
Did you say de-evolution?
Yeah. I was waiting on one of y'all to say something snarky.
Man. We've gone off the rails.
No, there was no rails left, man. I want to love my show again. I want to love my show. And when your wife looks at you and goes, that's some dumbass shit right there, when the show is over. And then you're watching Talking Dead afterwards, and Tom Payne looks like he is smiling and giddy that he has gotten the F out of here the entire time on Talking Dead. I was like, this is the sign. This is the moment when you realized it's not jump the shark. It's not shit the bed. It is literally, there is no tracks left. I am almost that defeated after watching this episode.
That's what's kind of sad. It wasn't a moment that jumped the shark. It wasn't a moment that was too coincidental or ridiculous necessarily.
I mean, there was a few of
This was a well played out plan that just shit the bed. Like, it was just boring and uneventful and unfortunate that this was the character they decided to kill. And it was kind of, anticlimactic, to say the least.
Well, this is one of those things where, being the comic book reader, I knew I had a great idea what was coming. I knew that there was humans with masks on. I knew that this herd was going to move in directions on its own and different things. All that stuff. So when you're watching this show, what do you have to look forward to when you know this information? So you're hoping they just do this well, okay?
That's it. You just hope
they do it well. I did not enjoy the beginning when, as I predicted, they come out there, they see a herd. They went right out there early quick and said, this herd's acting strange. I don't understand why they're doing this. And they have some confusion, and it's not a long dialogue. I was fine with that. And then Rick's like, I'm not Rick. Daryl's like, we need to move on and stuff. And come on, Doc. All that was fine.
And I love Daryl's disbelief the entire time because he's like, there's just no way they're evolving.
Exactly. And then I love the little timer, the little clock that the alarm goes off on. I love that he threw that out into the field. And I was like, okay, when this started, I was feeling strong about it. And I was like, all right, that's good. They didn't waste time. They went right into what they were going to do and the whole 9 yards. Then
Henry
happened.
How do we get 15 minutes of Henry?
And then the Michonne and them getting treated like assholes at the hilltop. And then more Henry. And then I'm just like, and then it's Gabriel and and Negan. Don't get me wrong, I laughed a little bit about this stuff, but then I was like,
dude, you realize this was 30 to 40 minutes of the show was just dribble?
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, all right. I was like, this is the mid-season finale.
The
finale. I was like, get to it. And so then when Rosita wakes up, by that time, I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. I can't stand it anymore. She just, I love how she wakes up in front of people. It's just so convenient that they're right there and everything else. And I'm so struggling at this point. I'm bleeding. And then, so then it gets to the meat and potatoes of the episode, and there's 10 minutes left or less.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm watching it recorded. So I'm fast forwarding through commercials. I see what's left. You know what I'm saying? I know how much the show is left, and I know some of that is credits and on the next Walking Dead and a little Talking Dead segment and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, there's 4 minutes of there that's just like, this isn't there.
Which means I have 6 minutes, you know what I'm saying, of that I'm about to get, and I'm just like, holy shit, nothing has happened. Nothing. Other than the little vignettes they keep showing of Daryl attempting to move the herd in different directions, which by the end was starting to piss me off. As cool as it seemed that, he throws the timer out there, right?
Yeah.
And you see how far they are from the herd when he throws the timer, okay? Then we see the herd obviously go to the alarm clock. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden the herd is right on top of them again. They are shuffling, shambling zombies.
Right.
These guys, even the ones in masks,
They're not speeding
take off on a jog because it won't bring the herd.
Yeah.
not at the same speed at least. So what the hell is happening in this gap? It's like fucking Jason Voorhees.
Everyone's sprinting as
They
fast
can
as
just
they can and everything.
stroll, and it doesn't matter how fast. These three of the most athletic people in all of the
Walking
groups
Dead. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
somehow can't stay in front of them and keep distance on them.
It was the most ridiculous thing that I could think of
Every
entire
time, even when they're dragging Eugene's ass around,
You're faster than walking herds.
you're way faster. They are moving at speed. They show it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see, yeah, they get tired. I'm glad they showed that. I'm glad Eugene said, just leave me. You guys are having to take breaks and it's slowing you down.
That's okay, Eugene. We're still faster than
We're
zombies.
still a bazillion times faster.
Bottom line is, they don't even have to. They could just walk and let him slowly hop, and you will still
All you have to do-
maintain distance.
As long as you're at the same pace as the walkers, which is speed of smell,
Yeah.
you're fine. They don't even have to run.
And then there's a part where Aaron goes over there and he's by the woods and he goes, "They're right on our ass." And then we have 30 seconds of dialogue.
Oh, yeah. They're right on
When I
our
think about
asses.
somebody's on our ass, that means I could turn around and they're in an eye shot.
I'm just...
I mean, so
Even the things that I feel like, I was like, for a second there, I'm like, oh, wow, I like Daryl throwing the clock out there. Excellent idea. Made this huge gap of space and time. It's all for naught. They immediately take it away from you.
yeah,
Immediately take it from you.
Just so we get to see the whispers.
And
Which,
that's-
I mean, the end result kind of justifies it and everything, but there was just a better way to do it.
well, it doesn't make sense that if you threw this over here to make the whole group go over there, and you went the opposite direction, and then the very next scene you have them is it's a new herd, and they're already right back on top of us. How'd they double back? I'm like, oh, did you?
No, that's the thing is they keep thinking it's a new herd because they won't believe that these are evolved.
Right, but
But
they still
Eugene's
should never
telling
be
them,
caught up.
no, it's the same ones, dude. They just keep coming for you.
And they just keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And they're just gathering more and more as they come. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, fine.
That doesn't explain how they caught us.
The cool factor is outweighed by the fact that, hey, man, we all understand distance and time, man.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work this way.
No.
And they obviously do a good job of shambling with the zombies. Mm-hmm. Because if they were to start jogging, the zombies would start attacking them. Or it would just not look right.
Yeah, I mean,
So it just doesn't
Doesn't
compute.
Yeah, it
You know
doesn't
what I'm
work.
saying?
You can't show me one thing that's genius, and the next second show that we're right back on your tail. Like it's like you said, Jason Voorhees. I mean, it's like, were you tripping on your heels every time?
Every single time you're tripping over the next root, and you're falling down into a little ditch.
Yeah.
You're just falling in some mud. You know everything. It's,
well, I mean, maybe if they even showed that. That would make it a little bit better. But no,
No.
the worst we have is catching our breath on a broken down vehicle or
no,
something.
you know what they show us? That these two strong men. No, I'm sorry, 3 strong men can't pick up Eugene over a 6-foot fence. Eugene, if you could climb that ladder he got up on the damn water
Oh,
tower,
yeah.
he could get over this fence. It's ridiculous.
Like you're telling me, Eugene, you've lost all of your upper body strength with 2 people with 1 leg each.
And when your life's on the line,
And well, okay, even if you couldn't use one leg, how many of y'all have done the interlocking hand?
Yeah.
Hey, give me a boost.
yeah.
But like he doesn't even have to use it. Like the other person can grab it. It's going to hurt like hell. Don't get me wrong. But you're going to be able to get over there with 2 people grabbing you.
With your life on the line.
Yeah.
With your life on the line, you imagine the adrenaline's going through your body.
They show him on the thing. He's crippled, deathly injured. He can't pull himself
Like-
inches.
This is the same person that 2 episodes ago was carrying a freaking deer over their back.
A deer on his back.
And you're telling me you can
Yeah.
no longer get over a 6-foot completely flat fence? Like it's just not. I can't believe it. It is ridiculous.
Before we get to the very end, let's talk about a couple of things in the middle of the episode. Why in the hell was Michonne and them disarmed? How about Bochick? What's your business here?
It's like,
Bitch,
I'm Michonne.
from the kingdom. Who the hell are you even talking to?
What's your business here? I did all of this. Everything
The
that we
reason
have
you're
here.
alive is because of me and my husband. So yeah, about that.
And I didn't like the scene of Magna saying, if I was them, I'd have a bow and arrow pointed right at us.
Well, we're pretty
And then,
good people.
what do you know? Bow chick pops up over the thing. I'm just like, Jesus.
And then like, drop your weapons, and she's like, "I just got these back." What another dumbass line? I mean, like, oh, does that mean something different? We should just stop because you just got your stuff back.
It was like, do you even really have weapons, Magna? Like, let's be real. We see what you're working
You got
with.
your
here.
little jewelry bag, your satchel,
You
little
know,
blades.
you know what was sad? is the one thing that like I got like pride out of was the fact that the bottom of Michonne's sword is attached to her belt.
Yes.
With a clip. And I was like, that's excellent.
That's how it should.
What a great idea. Yeah, I mean, it's like that's good writing, good planning, and stuff like that. Like, absolutely. She runs all the time. That thing would be flopping all over her unless you have a nice little clip right there.
And the fact that it's on the
Do you think it's as good as engineering as the hubcap that Jesus wears?
Unfortunately, no.
Anyway,
but
we're at the hilltop. And so they let him in, and it's not even like a, hey, good to see you. It's, like I said, what's your business here?
It's like Tara's upset and everything. Like, Tara, the most jolly person we have on the show and everything, is
red
all
sunglasses,
of a sudden negative,
chewing Twizzlers and shit. Tara is just a huge raging bitch all of a sudden.
Yeah, for no reason.
Awesome enough. They gave us no reason for the scars on their backs. Nope. No reason why no
explanations.
No explanation why the camps are all broken apart now.
Why she won't go to the fair. Why Carol's upset. All this stuff.
What horrific decision did Michonne make that made everybody mad?
So where Michonne is like, look, I get that people weren't going to like me and everything, but at least they're alive to hate me. Michonne, what was this decision?
What did you do?
Yeah, this is clearly...
If you're going to give us 30 minutes of dribbly garbage time on the television show
with no explanation,
with no explanations, that's if you want to fill that time, give us the backstory on why everybody's fucking pissed at Michonne.
Exactly. And also, I'm going to assume Carol has one of these exes. I want to know if she does.
Well, just why you have 8 episodes this season, and the last 3 are of the 6-year time jump, and we got almost zero information of the last 6 years.
There's nothing.
Yeah, there's almost zero. We got zero.
All we got was you see what Judith looks like, and
the atrocity of Judith,
and that everybody is separated,
and the new jobs.
And Maggie left.
I mean, Enid was already in the doctor role.
Yeah,
they were already training her and stuff like that. So no new news there.
Aaron already lost his arm.
Aaron lost his arm. Knew about that already. Which I thought they cut his arm above the elbow. I guess they didn't. I thought from the thing they show it, I thought he was caught in like in the bicep region, but I guess I might be wrong.
No, I don't think he were. I think the show just thought it would be easier to do it below the elbow.
Well, they definitely show his elbow.
Yeah,
they show his elbow.
They show his elbow in it. So I'm thinking maybe I'm just.
I think it was below.
Maybe it's his forearm.
I think it was in the forearm.
Okay.
I think because we were pissed because she cut right into the middle of the wound when it was broken, if you remember, and that wasn't a death.
I definitely remember the stupidest cut ever.
So that's nothing new. Okay, Daryl's by himself. No, okay,
but we don't. But we
don't know why.
Well, we know that he's been out looking for Rick for a long time.
Yeah,
you don't have to live out there to do that.
Exactly.
And
he had periodic stops at Hilltop, and then he just stopped coming altogether.
And of course, we had Gandalf's hair. I mean, Carol.
But all of the shit seems to be weighing on Michonne. Yeah. Michonne has done something to save lives and Alexandria, but antagonize the other colonies.
To where it's just trade, and that's all that they do.
And they're talking about Oceanside like they're separate too.
I don't know if they exist.
Well, they talk about it, or it's all fishermen and stuff, and it's all women.
Well,
that's part of the garbage Henry story.
And the funny thing is in the comic book, when they have this time jump in the comic book, Michonne's not at any of the camps. Michonne is one of the people who goes out onto a boat, like a vessel, like a pirate ship, and go fishing to bring back food and like that.
Jesus, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Because you're like, where's everybody going to Michonne? They're like, we're going to go and see, and they're at this makeshift dock and like that.
She already looks enough like Captain Jack. We don't need her.
Come back with that one braid and everything.
Yeah, she's got a fucking feather hanging off of it. And
the comic book does it right, but there's no way the show could do it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, putting a ship out there and filming that's ridiculous.
I've got no faith.
It'd have to be a John boat. You know?
God. Well, yeah, okay. But what I'm saying is the intriguing questions you have
didn't get answered.
There's no satisfaction.
Were not answered in a mid-season finale that they decided to put a large Henry story in.
Yeah.
That
I could care less about.
No one cares about.
Yeah, it ended with a thud of, Enid's really pretty. And then, oh, she's kissing on the home dude. Game over. Moving on.
Are they going to try to create some drama there?
I guess. And then the whole
That dude will dominate Henry.
one hit of white lightning, and he's drunk.
Yeah.
Oh,
One
he's
hit.
drunk. Piss drunk.
Look.
And old girl is a little tipsy too, apparently, and she's putting the moves on him.
Oh, yeah, she was ready.
Man.
He's just blind to that one. Though.
Got the white lightning blind.
Yeah, another pretty girl. They put some whack glasses on her. Like, oh, she's average looking, apparently.
Yeah.
So glasses make you just average now. Yeah,
I mean, like, that whole... I'm like, okay, this isn't college frat back in...
yeah, but two cheeseball dickheads. You know,
exactly.
it's like, oh, well, we're gonna get you in trouble, bro.
Man, if this is what you
How
do
did
for
these
fun.
two guys survive the apocalypse for like 7 years? You know what I mean?
Well, they said they've been
I
there
have
more than half their lives.
Zero faith in how some of the people on the show made it to where they are today. You know what I mean? Because if we have strong characters and this, that, or so on, that couldn't live nomadic lives and have been part of 4 or 5 communities that have fallen. I mean, this survived. This
Yeah.
made it.
This is in the gene pool now,
Yeah.
We've seen cabins where people were preppers and didn't make it.
and they've gunned themselves down in their own
Exactly.
homes.
But, we got 70-year-old Johnny out here picking something in the front gardens at Hilltop. Like that. Like, yeah, how'd you make it? You know what I mean? Like, there should be a dynamic of a certain level of people that survive and what they should look like and what their ability should be like that. And when you look at, Jackass 1 and 2, who's got white lightning, you're like, I mean, he ran away when Henry fell into the hole and stabbed the walker in the head.
How many of you thought that Henry's going to be stuck in the hole?
Oh, 100%. I was like, why is Henry even diving into this hole to kill the walker? That pole is 6 feet long. Just stab it down in there. Good to go.
Yeah, we talk about a pain in the ass to get out of.
Yeah.
That hole.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
But he was drunk.
That's very unfortunate. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's drunk, screaming at the gates, "Let me in!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
But also, how's he getting out of that hole? You know he's grabbing the mud, that old dipstick, and just pissed all over. And it's like, great. This is my way out.
Man,
I'm struggling, man. I mean, like, what in the hell did we need this storyline for at all?
zero.
It was complete fluff and filler.
I mean, one of the first things I texted y'all was, man, it's really weird we don't have an hour and a half long episode. And then I started the episode, it was like, oh, we don't have a 20-minute long episode.
Well,
Wow.
not with all that shit.
Yeah.
Why are we working so hard to make Henry a character?
I don't know.
Because he's going to take Carl's spot. That is the only reason I can think of for why we are pushing this hard to make Henry a character.
No, they're not. I mean, like, they've already made Judith the replacement based on how she dressed and she has the hat. Carl was synonymous for wearing the hat all the time. So then when the hat transfer thing happened,
Not to mention, she has the same ideals as Carl.
yeah.
Then there's zero reason to push Henry this hard.
Exactly. Like, to me, it's like, let's make sure we love him like this so that he can have a horrific death and have, Carol and Ezekiel fall apart.
But I mean, we're not going to care when Henry dies. That's the
Well,
problem.
I mean, this would be a fist bump for us.
It's not that. Yeah, we're not going to give a shit when Henry dies. Carol and Ezekiel are going to give a shit when Henry dies.
All right. I mean, because bottom line is, so far, we have talked a lot of SHIT about this episode, but if you go to a lot of the social groups we're with, when they talk about Walking Dead, there's a large group of people who said this was a 9, a 10, a phenomenal mid-season finale. So awesome. This, that, or so on. And I feel sorry that they feel this way when there's so much good TV out there.
There's too much. There's
Yeah.
too much good television to think this is a 9 or a 10. Anywhere even close. It's not even a 9 or 10 on Walking Dead standards.
It's not even a 6 on Walking Dead standards.
Dude, people forget
Like, you go back to the
awesome
early
Walking
seasons,
Dead
Yeah.
episodes.
I mean, there ain't no
Forget
doubt.
them. They just forget them. I mean, season 1, incredible. Season 2, the farm shit, I understand, was boring as hell. But half of season 2 was excellent.
The second half of season 2 was great. When you got to season 4, that was really good.
Yeah,
the
there was-
prison stuff, and when the prison fell, all that stuff was great, minus the governor backstory. But
I'm just saying,
all this
there-
stuff had super tense, good stuff.
But my thing is, when you used to have 9 or 10 quality Walking
Mm-hmm.
Dead quality episodes, it was like, to now think that what we just watched is on the same level as that is just shameful.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is shameful. Because no bullshit. I know I hate this show a lot at this point, but 90% of this episode I gave 2 shits about.
Well,
And then the 10% that I was interested in still had flaws.
Yeah. Think about this. If you were a true Walking Dead fan, so think about the situations of season 1, 2, 3, for all those things like that. Did you ever feel like something was created just to create a cool moment? You never had those situations in the early seasons. For the last 4 seasons, 5 seasons, it's like, how do we create something new? How do we set our soul on? Let's forget if it's plausible if we get from A to Z. Let's just go ahead and make it where Z can happen so we have a cool moment. And people are just supposed to forget it's not plausible to get there, or you jump the shark way too much for that to happen. And think about this episode. Since when do we have a storm that creates the fog level that we have? There's no rain. There's no nothing. It's just low-level fog, and you happen to walk into a cemetery of all places?
And then the fact that you bring it up.
It just... Why?
That makes me how angry I was that these walkers were able to continue to track everybody through this fog. Because they can't even see where they're going.
It's
so
like,
the fact that you are following them perfectly and gaining ground...
But my problem is, weren't you pissed they were using those fucking flashlights?
Yeah.
Weren't you pissed once they had Eugene that they were still waving those flashlights around? Now, if I was Eugene, I'd be having a fucking come apart. Turn the damn flashlights off. You guys don't get it. These guys are different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the whole time I'm just like, guys, if I can see you, then the flashlights are unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If you're holding on to me and we can't get separated, we don't really need these flashlights anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just I get so frustrated because of the fog. I'm trying to remember when it rains and it's foggy. Like, is that a normal thing? Am I confused? Maybe no. I am literally stupid. I could be stupid. I don't remember.
We live in the same geographical region as the show is supposedly developed, or as in it's supposed to be, and so on.
Well, it's north of us now, but still, we live in the Delta, which holds fog.
Yes.
Okay? And I know when it's foggy. Anytime we leave in the morning to go to work.
But it's never a fog that you can't see 10 feet in front of you.
Well, it has been, but never in the rain.
Or never from a lightning storm, because they showed you there was a lightning storm.
I just don't know, man. I don't know.
That fog's just not going to exist in the circumstance that they wanted.
Over 25 years, and I've never walked in an area at any time, at night, daytime, anything like that, if there was a fog that you couldn't see 15 feet in front of you like this show represented. Now, I get that is for effect and to make this more scary, and I can live with that to a point, or so on.
Can you live with it that it's in a fucking graveyard?
That's the part that drove me nuts. Like, him being out there at that barn and hiding in the spot, okay. Them going here and this, that, or so on, that's fine. To me, like, them going through a cornfield that had empty rows and that fog was down, where by you just turning to your left and coming back to your right, somebody could literally be there, and that could be scary as hell.
Would have been great. But corn.
Corn. That's better than a graveyard.
But I'm saying, where the fuck would the corn come from, is what I'm saying. No one's cultivating it, is what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm just saying, something... Where the fuck did the graveyard come from? I mean,
whatever. I don't mind there being a graveyard somewhere, but isn't it tropey?
It is.
Isn't it cheesy that they ended up in a graveyard?
Tropey.
And then as soon as they couldn't get Eugene over that tiny little wall,
I was done.
Eugene was just wasted. He just couldn't do it. I was just like, come on, guys. And then the gate, of course, the gate's got mud built up on the bottom of it or whatever like that, and they can't slide it up. And I'm like, dude, if all three of y'all put your shoulder into that thing, it's coming open.
Yeah. I'm sorry. If my life depends on getting this gate open
or climbing a wall,
I'm going to get a running start at least and throw my body into this gate. Like,
you'd get over the wall, no problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's your next problem, and so on. Guess who shows up in a location that nobody knows you're there?
Oh, no, there's flashlights. They're beacons. No, there's no reason why Michonne should know where they are.
Well, Rosita's taking them, and she says, I know where they are. And she knew where the barn was.
The barn. Okay.
And we didn't get far from the barn.
Did we?
Like, I mean, if these walkers are still there.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Space and time does not exist here.
Yeah.
You just fold the paper in half. The holes come together. It's a wormhole.
Okay, Inception.
You know, I mean, whatever. Even if you get past the cheeseball shit, you get past... Somehow they can't get Eugene over this wall.
But even past all of this, we have the gate open. We're all here. Jesus, why are you staying to kill these walkers?
There's no reason.
All you have to do is go out the gate.
And close the gate. Just close
the gate and you're gone. You're home free.
Put his stupid shovel up against the gate. These things are done.
It doesn't even matter. You just reclose the gate because we know walkers can't open gates. Like, if someone tries to open this gate, it's all exposed. It is just... I can't understand it.
Let's get to the death. So, cool little melee of him kicking, swiping, cutting heads open, the whole 9 yards, boot stomping. All that was fine. Okay.
It was phenomenal. Like,
I was like, yay, we finally get to see more Jesus in action. This is what I look forward to moving through the seasons. No more of that. So, let's talk about the walker that dispatches, or the human in the walker skin. Jesus swings this sword to his back, and he ducks,
like
non-visually seeing the sword come at him. I rewound this because I
don't remember. Yeah, I can't remember.
So Jesus kills one walker, and this guy has his back to you. The reason they do that is because you don't want the viewer to see the face that you could maybe see that it's a mask. Okay? And he swings the sword, and this guy ducks blindly. So it's a whiff.
Mm-hmm.
Grabs Jesus and turns around and takes his own sword, which, by the way, is at least a 2.5 foot sword.
It's a long blade.
And puts it through his back, through his chest, and out through the top of his left pec. Okay? Quite a severe plunge of a knife, or a sword, whatever like that. And basically, and dispatches him, kills him. And to everybody's dismay, and Aaron screaming bloody murder and the whole 9 yards. And so
it was cool.
I struggled with the whole I blindly duck to with
because Jesus doesn't go in screaming or anything. He's still coming up silently.
Well, it's like I thought would happen, that he would try to nonchalantly kill
he would,
a walker. That would
you're underestimating what you're
right,
doing because it's like I've killed 1,000 of you.
Yeah, which is what we like to see. I mean, we like to see this.
Yeah,
he should underestimate it.
But it wasn't that he underestimated it.
Well, he's used to dispatching these things.
But I mean, it was just like Zach said. He blindly dodges this thing, bending forward, and has no way of knowing that it's coming. It's not like this is an advanced fighter.
I think the effect could have worked just as well if
he's
staring at him.
Yeah.
If you just make it where the camera angle makes it look like his face is darker, you can't see much.
It looks cool when it happens.
It does, because it's stunning, because you're like, wait a minute, walkers aren't supposed to be able to do that. And then
but nobody's supposed to be able to do that, is the problem. And Jesus is one of the best fighters we've ever seen on the show. Like, he's a skilled person. If Jesus did that, I would be in disbelief.
Well, see, the problem is Jesus is a likable enough character on this show that I don't much care for a lot of characters, that it didn't enhance my want to watch any more of this show. It
pissed me off.
It pissed me off and depleted even more
and the bigger problem is we lost Maggie without a real send-off. Jesus is the so-called leader. Now Hilltop is left in Tara's hands.
Well,
disasters.
Now Hilltop's going to be another political situation I can see coming.
Yeah,
and we're dropping the 6 new people off there. One of them could end up being the leader.
No way about that.
No way, but
well, I mean, I say no way, but Jesus, with everything that's been left at Hilltop, no one's ever ran.
We are running out of characters we care about in the slightest.
I didn't even know I cared about Jesus. Like, that was the problem.
That's the thing. It's not like Jesus was like top of my list. Give a shit.
But of the ones we had left, he was one of the better ones.
He's one of the better characters.
Yeah. I mean, we built him up so high these 3 episodes.
And not to mention, he has a lot to do if you're a comic book reader. And all that's gone now.
Not even the comic book.
They're giving that to Aaron now, it looks like. Aaron's going to be his replacement. It seems.
But Aaron's not even Hilltop.
Do we believe...
No, I know, but I'm talking about if you're looking at people that are just like replacement...
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Conscience. You know what I'm saying?
Fill the hole. Fill the void.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron can't anymore. All of his loves keep just getting dropped off left and right.
All right. Do we believe that this was part of the story, or that Tom Payne was ready to go?
I think he was ready to go.
It seems really abrupt for Jesus's character.
He really did.
It's not like they it's not like a lot of other characters where they always like do something to build them up to kill them and give you this impact. I thought this fell pretty flat to kill Jesus at this moment because I just didn't think it was the right time.
Yeah, I think you get the same effect, and you could have a much less character.
Could have been Aaron.
I mean, if they would have killed Eugene in the same moment, I'd have been more devastated.
Yeah, I mean, like you need Eugene for a lot of things that are going to happen in the show. I mean, Eugene's got.
I mean, you say
good
that.
longevity on the show.
You said that, but we needed Carl.
I hope
we needed
so.
Rick.
You're right.
We needed
though.
Jesus.
That's huge. Carl is the Walking Dead.
He was.
But I mean, if you're a comic reader, the story is really about Carl.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he becomes the focus.
Right. And it's like, okay, you kill him. Stupid. Whatever you want to do. You decide Judith, 9-year-old ass, can do it. Like I said, I'm just saying, I didn't have the impact that I think the show was hoping for when Jesus was killed.
I mean, I think, honestly, Negan's going to take a lot of the stuff. Like, I think we're going to turn him good, and he's going to take a lot of these leadership roles that we're missing.
Okay, we didn't even talk about this. So Gabriel's his therapist, trying to talk some humanity into him or whatever.
Yeah, with his bowl of sound there.
Well, yeah, the meditation.
No. I don't know what it was,
and
but
cleaning the bedpan. I'm like, is this a Gabriel job? Cleaning bedpans?
no.
It's just not, is it?
No, it's like, how can I come up with the funny? Hey, here we go.
Yeah.
You're giving Negan way too
My
much
shit
ammunition
molecules
for
are in your nose, blah, blah, blah,
It
blah,
means
blah.
you're tasting it all. You know?
Okay. There is a guy, they're smart enough, there's a guy who cuffs Negan to the bars when he comes in to clean his bedpan. But this is not the guy, apparently, who locks the door. I'm just calling horse shit left and right on this.
this. Like the horseshit in the pan, or
They show the guy standing there staunchly, even when Gabriel charges out of the thing and slams the door. He's just standing there. He's not. They don't show him leave with Gabriel. Mm-mm. Nothing. That's clearly the guy with the keys. You got one job. You ever seen those memes? You had one job.
I'm trying to think of something.
You know, in the comic, Negan convinced a lower-minded individual that was on the outs in Alexandria to open the gate for him.
Right.
And then when he does, he doesn't leave, but leaves the door open to show that
I could have left.
I could have left at any time, but I didn't. I want you to know that I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm a changed person, this, that, or so on, as a way of starting his mind development play on the people of Alexandria and so on, which thus gives him a little bit of help and trust toward the point where Rick, comes to a situation where they need him to do something.
No. You don't understand. Until I had to fast forward to the next part of the end of the show, I thought they were going to have to. Because, like I said, I go to fast forward, I see how much is left on the episode.
Yeah.
But at that moment, I was like, oh shit, Negan's going to end up helping them in some form or fashion at the end of this episode, saving a life, or, you know what I'm saying, doing something.
Redeeming himself in a good way.
Yeah, something good was going to happen to help Negan's favor.
Because he said, 16 minutes or roughly probably in the episode after they let him out? I think, like you said, there was a good bit of time to where it was plausible that Negan was going to have
it was plausible, but the thing was once I hit that next fast forward and he wasn't part of it, and it was only like 4 or 5 minutes left, and it's like, oh shit, now we're running out of time.
Yeah.
It's going to make the finale where maybe he does save somebody's life and then it cuts off. And be like, okay, that makes more sense to me, I guess, trying to move forward with this character. It's horseshit coincidence.
Well, I mean, it's just like you can't leave 8 huge questions unanswered going and leaving a mid-season finale.
Oh, but the problem is they show a preview for next season.
Oh, yeah.
And it shows all the people that are trapped in the fucking graveyard right as rain. Mm-hmm. And it's like,
why are we scared then?
Like,
what was
there's
the
no
whole
fear
point of all
anymore.
this?
You know what I'm saying? Because they leave us. They're surrounded. Whisperers everywhere.
Yep.
I'm just like, oh, well, they just get out, I guess. They just get out.
The horses magically come and rescue them. I don't, man. And if Rosita is this scared leaving, why are we not leaving with our biggest guns? Like,
Well, she doesn't even explain to them what's going on.
they
She
just don't understand. They
and
don't
then
understand.
out the doors they go.
Like,
Now she just woke up from a severe heat stroke or exhaustion or
Not a heat stroke.
heat exhaustion.
Just
dehydration.
basically just a terrible human. Just bad genes.
Well,
bad
I mean, she
blood.
was nice enough to leave Eugene's little underground basement or whatever covered.
No, she did a great job of hiding Eugene.
Yeah, that was it.
The rest of it, I don't know. I mean, I didn't like Eugene saying that the herd's come back 3 times already tonight. I'm just like, come on.
Like,
There's only so much time.
Yeah.
we know how slowly, like, they can't be following our group and circling this thing all at the same time, Eugene.
Yeah, I mean, they did a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, the preview for the next, half season is like, they just showed too much. It's just stupid.
Which is why
They showed quite a bit.
They
Which is why I
literally show
refuse to
you.
watch
They
those
show
things.
Negan at the old sanctuary. I mean, I'm like, well, come on.
like,
He got how far? Unnoticed. He got out of fucking Alexandria. First off,
Yeah.
and there's supposed to be anything left at Sanctuary? And we
Well,
know how long it takes
It's
to
just
travel.
a shell, I'm sure, because the only saviors that were left
Yeah.
were Carol roasted them.
well, it looks like a shell anyway, judging by the trailer. But you think
We know how long it takes to travel now.
you think they're not? He's not going to find his bat,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
which is not at the sanctuary.
it was at the field where they battled.
It's at the
Yeah.
field. So it's like, yeah, because
but
Michonne
outside
literally
the
tells him,
elements for six years, that bat's in trouble.
and I think Rick burned it too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think Michonne did say it was burned and everything. But also, to go back to the graveyard and everything, I do really like, after they killed the Whisperer that killed Jesus, that Daryl was in such disbelief that he investigated the body and snipped away the skin to see that it was a person, because he refused to believe that these things could evolve like that. And the fact that they had that little bit of detail, I was like, okay, we gave us something.
The problem is they're surrounded by a herd of walkers. And they're all just down
Taking
there
their time, not caring.
mourning Jesus, looking into this walker and stuff like that. It was an entire herd. Jesus and them kill maybe 10.
I would say 10 at max.
And they're sitting there talking about it's over 140.
And then they said it's doubled since then.
Where the hell are they?
Well, you remember Aaron said we can use this as
You have to
a...
understand, whenever there's a scene and when it's monumental emotion, walkers flee.
Yeah, and when there's that much fog,
Remember
you just
the
can't
paisley
see.
shirt and Magna, what was that, or so on? Remember, walkers just decide to circle.
I understand. And you're right. The choke point that'll
Yeah.
slow them down and stuff like that. They show the choke point fail.
Oh, yeah, the choke point just exploded.
It slows them down for about 3 or 4 walkers, and then it just falls apart, and they're just walking along. So
And those
I
poor
won't take
first,
that
like-
either.
And those poor first walkers, man, they got stampeded.
Yeah.
No, those guys.
Yeah, I just none of it holds up. None of it.
Not in the slightest.
I don't care. They're picking storylines, characters to follow that I just don't give a shit about.
And guys, that's the episode. That's the mid-season finale right
That
there.
was the finale. As Jake sums up, I just don't care. And so on. And the crazy thing is that the preview, even though it shows a ton, gives you enough to actually make you look forward to parts of it. I mean, getting to see Ryan Hurst in costume and, battling Daryl, and then seeing, the bald-headed person, I'm not sure male, female, in the comic books it's female, we duck and weave through a group. To see them standing at the gate and standing outside of Hilltop, with their masks on and all these different things. Like you said, Negan and his whole deal. There's a lot of intrigue about what's going to happen the next, half season that comes back in February. But dare I say, they've always done a decent job of making the preview go, ooh, I can't wait to see that. And then you watch the episode and you're like,
That was the first...
Fuck that up again.
That was like after Rick passed or it got transported away. We were all kind of hyped up for these next 3 episodes because that trailer looked legit. We were like, okay, there's a little bit of hope.
I know it. The
And
only
then we
negative
got
we
three-
saw was Gandalf. And so, I mean,
And then we got 3 episodes of just non-delivery.
just non-explanation. People want to know what the hell happened
With
if
everything
you're going to do
going
a
on.
time jump of 6 years.
And the director, after he did the, I guess, 7th episode, he was like, I know y'all want to know what these X's are. We're going to tell you. It's going to be a huge payoff that's going to make everything worthwhile. We get here to the mid-season finale, no
Bupkis.
idea what these X's mean.
Bupkis. Absolute bupkis.
And like, you can't just keep making us wait until the next half season because you don't think we'll come back. That tells me this reveal is not going to be worth it.
No, that's the thing is, they only give you something worth watching, 10% of an episode, the final episodes, in hopes that you'll come back.
Yeah.
In the hope, please come back. This is the lowest watched season of all our history. Please come back and watch this.
It was like, we're going to keep giving you these little breadcrumbs, hoping that there's a reason to come back. But we still don't know what these mean yet, so give us more time to write it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I truly, I'm too bored. I'm too not give a shit. I just don't care, man. I don't care what happens to
Anybody.
almost anybody. I mean, Michonne holds a place in your heart. The problem is, I don't like Michonne this season.
Yeah. And honestly, I'll be happy if she's set free from the show.
Actually, it's not that. Michonne's been fine up until these last 3 episodes. And it's like,
They gave her
I
a
don't
role
like,
that just doesn't suit her.
I don't like how she's acting.
But now there might be a reason for it that'll make it okay. But you know what? They didn't give it to us.
Maybe so. But it's like, if she's trying to win over any hearts or minds, she ain't doing it the right way.
She's definitely going the wrong way about this.
Yeah, and
Because she should have just kept these 6 people. But like you said, we need a reason to come to Hilltop. And this was a terrible reason. And what do we get at Hilltop? No Maggie and a leader who ends up dying. And it was just like,
and
what's the point?
That's the thing, too. I can only imagine that Maggie is returning to the show.
They are hoping that her show flops and that she will come back because she has nothing left.
Even that is ridiculous that she didn't get a send-off. Even if
it's absurd.
Just hoping she comes back. You know, what's his name? With the stick.
Henry?
No.
Morgan?
Morgan got a send-off. They thought he was gone. You know what I mean? They thought
they
he was
just moved
gone.
him over the fear.
He got his own episode of craziness.
A few
you know?
of them. But like, I mean, yeah, definitely the last one. Then just be like, Rick, I'm gone.
Yeah. And then he came back. Cool. But he got a send-off. They assumed he was gone for good, new show and everything. Maggie.
Integral. Since season 2.
Just a massive character. To not get a send-off at all, it disturbs me.
It's a travesty. It is a shame, and like, there's just no positive spin to put onto this just because you didn't want to give her contract.
Well, and that's how I feel about this season. There's no positive spin to put on it. I have nothing. I don't care.
No, and I don't care about the movies that you want to make with Rick that aren't going to be plausible because he will move heaven and earth to get back to Michonne and Judith.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to do some fucking Godzilla type work.
Godzilla's a man.
Giant walls that he can't get out of.
Like, it's going to have to be a biodome or something that is just physically impossible.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm done talking about this shit.
And I'm still fearful that we're going to merge with Fear the Walking Dead. And like, I'm just...
No, I think they nixed that. No, I got to see part of the season finale on theirs, and they made a point not to, that they weren't going to go there, even though that was a part of their plot line. It was a possibility. But, guys, dare I say that I feel like we're almost done with the show. I think even before we started potting, we look at ourselves and we wonder, why are we still potting this? Because it feels like it's a lot of negativity, and that's the way it's been for basically the entire season so far. And a lot of last season, we struggled with special, majority of the episodes. So it's almost turning into what I would call a hate watch. And when we characterize our podcast as, a podcast that covers the best shows on television, just because Walking Dead is maintaining the top slot of Sunday night does not mean it's one of the best shows on television.
Yeah, I never want to feel obligated to watch a show. I want to be excited to watch a show.
Walking Dead and Game of Thrones is one of the two shows that the reason we started podcasting in the beginning, and why we love what we do and so on. But we've put some feelers out there, some different people, and we've got some feedback, and we want to hear from you guys. If you listen to our pod consistently, we really, really appreciate it. If we're turning you off because of negativity, we want to know. If you enjoy listening to us shit on a show, let us know that as well. We're really kind of seeking some guidance from you guys on what you think on things. And so if you could pop us a quick message or hit us up on Facebook or an email or something, and just, be truthful. Just call it what it is, and let us know what you're thinking. We're if you people can say you're on the fence, we're kind of leaning over the edge of the fence. And, is that maybe it's just that time, other podcasts have dropped out. We didn't think we'd be thinking the same thing, but after these 8 episodes, the future looking bleak, we don't know. And so we really want to hear from you guys and what you think, and how we want to do about things moving forward. Also, we're going to be changing some things up for the new year. The next show that we're going to be podcasting is going to be True Detective. This is going to be season 3. We're looking forward to it. Season 2 was quite a hit and miss from season 1, which we think is one of the best seasons of television in history ever. And we really feel like we maybe season 3 will come back to that greatness. So if you ever watched True Detective or have heard of it or have not watched it, we implore you to watch season 1. You can skip over season 2. I promise it won't bother you. And join us for season 3. That's going to come out in January, as well as it will probably be on a podcast dedicated only to that show. One of the changes we're going to make is make some individual podcasts for individual shows to try to help some things. And so be looking for those changes. We'll put that on social media and everything else. And we look forward to that. So other than that, guys, we're just going to look forward to chatting with you guys via social media and so on. And I hope everybody has a great Christmas and join us back when we come back in January. But unless y'all got anything else, we'll call it.
Done.
That's it.
All right, guys. This is BleedTV, and I'm Zach.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cash.
And we'll see y'all next year.